The Congress of Mexico has opened up a 75-year-old state monopoly on oil, a move which has brought hundreds of thousands of people out onto the streets across the country. Protesters say that if the bill becomes law, international oil companies will snatch the reserves from under the nose of domestic producers. Well, for now, the document has been approved by more than a third of Mexico's states, but what began as a protest against an energy policy has now turned into a nationwide discontent with the entire government. RT's Nicholas Donovan witnessed one such demonstration.
Protests against the energy reform have been held in all major cities across Mexico. It's a new demonstration of power of those who oppose what their government has approved without their consent. We can't forget that there's 3 points of the Mexican Constitution that will be modified under the new measure. For many Mexicans, this new era in the energy sector just means the beginning of the end of the country's independence. Many also believe that the whole process has been just a farce and that the decision was really already made even before the debate began. The rapid approval that the reform is getting in the local delegations only strengthens the position of those who think that politicians in Mexico aren't on the side of the people, but on the side of commercial interests.
They are not interested in asking the people. They don't care about what we think at all. The states will have to reform approved in 10 minutes. They don't know what they are doing. They are betraying us. The streets are the only thing that we have now, and we'll do all it takes to defend them.
Symbolically, protesters in Mexico City, the nation's capital, chose the Square of Independence to kick off their massive march.
Pressure, tension and frustration have been building up here. It's not only about the energy reform, they're talking about the education reform, about the transport policies. Indeed, it's just the Mexican people coming together and really demonstrating the government they're just not happy with their policies.
International Action Center activist Caleb Maupin believes the government itself is in fact the source of the unrest.
The oil in Mexico, this is something that the Mexican people, have claimed for themselves. They say it's their property. They say it belongs to them. But now, just like so much of the wealth of the world, it's being privatized. It's being handed over to private corporations and being utilized to make profits for some capitalist. And that's an outrage. And that's why the people are rising up against it. That's why we see all this massive outcry, because the people of Mexico have really made clear that the government of Mexico doesn't represent them. It represents interests in the United States, and they would like sovereignty and independence.